evening, everybody, and welcome back to another Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark show. We are just a few days away from our big Fort Stock event, September 18th through 21st, and we have some very exciting things coming. Ted, take it away.
Sophie, you look lovely in your Fort Stock outfit tonight, so thank you so much. And we're very humbled today to have two great retailers with us. Tony Owens from the Germain Motor Company in Ohio is here tonight, and our good friend Ed Roberts at Bozard Ford Lincoln. Tony and Ed, welcome. How are you guys tonight?
Excellent. Great to be here. Thank you very much.
So a lot going on. You guys are a big part of the show. Tony and Ed, we've done a lot of recordings together. The finish line is near. The show is just in less than 2 weeks, as I understand it, Sophie. Days away, as I like to say. What are the dates on that, Sophie?
September 18th through 21st. You can get your complimentary tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com. We have some amazing speakers and guests lined up, some of which are here with us today. That face looks familiar on those graphics.
Yeah, a couple of those faces look familiar. I see Ed there. Yeah. And it's a 4-day show, everybody, doing 4 days again. So you can imagine, I'm seeing that kaleidoscope night and day now. So it's like endless for me. And we just announced today one of the panels that's going to be coming up. Ed is on the panel. It's the Leading Change panel with Ed Roberts, Steve Greenfield, Brian Kramer, actually, who will be back with me again tomorrow, Tully Williams, Fred Forden, Steve Westner, and a lot going on. So,
well, there's some big hitters there.
Those are the big hitters, Tony.
Absolutely. This show brings all the big hitters, Tony.
Certainly does.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot going on. So, Tony, if I can, current events, you were pretty busy over the weekend. I saw that. I saw a couple photos of Happy Jack. Tell us the story about that, if you don't mind.
Well, Happy Jack is a groundhog. He was living under my deck in the back. I got a big deck back there, and he was living under there. He's bigger than my dogs. He's gigantic. I was trying to catch him and not having much success. I get on the YouTube and decide I'm going to figure out what's going to go on, find a way to catch Happy Jack. He's just digging holes big enough to where my dogs could get under the fence and get out on the street. So that was a safety concern for my dogs. And I love my dogs. My dogs are my life. And so I was able to catch him Saturday. It was not an easy thing to do. I watched some YouTube videos from a wildlife guy. He knocked it dead. Some of those things aren't the best. This guy was right on. I caught him, and Happy Jack is safely running around in the woods right now by a river. He's a happy guy.
And it's got to be the adventures of Tony and Happy Jack. That was amazing over the weekend.
So if you ever need a little entertainment, all you have to do is just friend Tony Owens on Facebook, and you will certainly get some entertainment.
I ran out of material, though, on the groundhog. I don't know if we'll find something else to do.
But Ed, you got to find the real Tony Owens, because there's been some imposters out there in the last 6 months. I see.
That's for sure. You'll know when you find them, though.
Yep.
You certainly will.
There've been people using Tony's picture and impersonating Tony. So
yeah, hacked me, Lordy. Hey, anybody out there that's not on my Facebook that used to be, I got hacked and opened up a new one. My friend requests are real, so please accept them.
Okay, quick update on our friend Sean Butler. Sean had his surgery last Friday. We did a lot of posts over the weekend, and he is home now, and he's home from the hospital. And I spoke with him just a few hours ago, and he's on the road now, right? So he's on the right road. So he's got he's still got a long road ahead, though, from what I understand.
He does. I've chatted with him a few times, but he's not giving up, and that's the key. He's got to keep fighting, and that's what he's doing. He's a fighter for sure.
Yep. So we raised some more money over the weekend to help with medical bills, and you can all help Sean Butler, everybody. You can donate today. We have set up a special fixedopscares.org website, and that goes to a GoFundMe page. And find it in your hearts to help Sean and his family. And he had a couple of his kids here last week with us on Monday, Sophie, and it was so nice to meet them. And then Michelle and I did a segment over the last couple days that will appear on the roundtable coming up. So great honor to be in Sean's corner, and knowing that he's got a little friend.
Sean was a big inspiration to me. I went through some adversity in 2017, and Sean had run some adversity too, and he was a big inspiration to me. I love that young man very much. He means a lot to me, as everyone else does on this group. It's a true pleasure to have him as a friend. It's a great thing. Please donate.
So Ed, what's going on in your world? We've kept you pretty busy.
The foot's always on the gas here. We're always moving forward, and I will tell the world, and not even Ted knows this yet, but our mobile fleet is going to more than double, maybe even more than triple, here in the coming months. So we're spreading our wings even more. It's all good stuff, and saw you at the pop-up that we did down in Orlando for Parts and Service Club event, and I appreciate you guys coming there and then doing the pop-up here. And during all that time, we found a time, sometime somewhere in the spare time that we have laying around to write and launch a book.
Yeah. So Ed, congratulations on that. I heard a little bit about this on social media. You got to look carefully to find it. It's not quite evident unless you're really a purveyor of social media. Mile 1, An Endless Journey to Effective Leadership by the great Ed Roberts is out now. And Ed, this just came out officially a couple days ago. I saw the announcement.
It was first available to purchase on Amazon on Saturday. So what was that? September 2nd. So it's in its first week of launch that has taken off well. The pre-orders was phenomenal that we had on it. I couldn't. I'm blown away by the support that I'm getting by it. And if Sean Butler's getting anywhere as near the support that I'm getting, he'll be just fine. And I want to steer back there just a minute because the guy is extremely humble and appreciates everything we do for him. And we are all a community, and I appreciate the support, but let's make sure we're showing him some support as well.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Your book, Ed, the big thing about your book is, and people need to understand this, you're a car guy. We get that. This book is about leadership. Anybody who leads people in any type of business will benefit from your book. You don't have to be a car person. This is all about being a leader. I cannot wait to get mine. I'm going to buy probably some more for people that work with me because it's sensational. I can't wait to get it. Please let your friends know this is a big deal.
Well, they are shipping out now. I signed about 100 of them last night, and we're getting them in the mail. And Natasha has about 800 for me to sign tonight. So I got a little work cut out for me ahead of me.
Ed, the publisher had a post on the pre-sale numbers. Can you share? Do you mind sharing some of those numbers? Because I heard it's a record.
Well, I will state this. I talked when I finally stepped over the line and says I'm going to write a book, and I've been pressured for about 20 years to do that. Started making notes about 10 years ago. I said I'm going to write a leadership book, and each one of the publishers that I talked to tried to steer me in a different direction because a lot of you guys know that I come from humble beginnings, and they said that's the story we got to tell. That's what we got to talk about. That's what'll sell. You won't sell 300 books if you do a leadership book. And I said, it doesn't matter how many I sell. It matters whether it helps somebody or not. If it helps one person, it's worth it all to me. And but I am proud to say that the pre-orders, we sold 4,800 pre-orders. And they're moving quite well on Amazon as well, and that doesn't count the pre-orders. So I'm blown away. I never expected that. It truly didn't matter if I sold 100. I wanted to get a message out there, and that I feel is impactful to all of us, that we could all learn from, and kind of have some self-reflection there. And there is a couple of elements of my story there, just to kind of give you a little bit of it.
Ed, is there something in particular that inspired you to write the book? Is there like a certain event or a person, or was it just kind of life in general that inspired you?
What pushed me over the edge, and I've made notes for about the last 10 years that if I write a book, I'm going to make sure I put these in it. And so I reflected back on those notes as I was writing it, and did get all of those in there, and then added some other content. But I was listening. I have a few friends that are authors as well, and I was listening to a friend of mine's book, and I was listening to this book by Clint Pulver. I love it here.
Mm-hmm.
And I pushed the pause button, was driving, wasn't driving to work. I don't know where I was driving to, but I was driving somewhere. And I pushed the pause button and called him and says, "You pushed me over the edge." Mm-hmm. And it was that moment that I decided I was going to write a book, and then I didn't back off the throttle until I was done with it. And writing a book's no easy feat. You write a first draft that is you expressing what you want to get out, but expressing what you want to get out doesn't necessarily mean the audience can understand it. And so then you got to find people that will give you some real feedback and not just say, hey, it's good content, but give you some feedback and say, hey, here's what I think you're trying to say, but you probably need to express a little bit differently here or whatever. Then you go back and you rewrite and you rewrite and you rewrite. It gets exhausting at a point. You think, man, what did I dive into? But and you can't back off until you're done. And the when that same guy told me, he says, I asked him, I said, how many drafts did you do before you released your first book? And he says, it ain't about the number of drafts. He says, you will know when you've crossed the line and you're ready. And he's exactly right. At the moment that I knew it was done, there was not a question in my mind. There it is. It's ready. Let's go.
Exciting.
Yes. It's been a cool journey for sure.
Ed, can I follow that up with why right now are you publishing this book? Because you said you've been taking notes for the last 20 years and you said that you knew it was the right time, but what exactly does that knowledge come from? Like what exactly is showing you that it's the right time right now?
There's no time like the present. And I felt like if I was ever going to do it, that I just had to step out there and do it. And once I felt compelled to write it, there wasn't a day that went by that I didn't do something on it until I completed it. Mm-hmm. And if you, as a leader, and we're all leaders of some sort, but as a leader, we're ongoing learners. And if we quit learning, then we quit leading. And I wanted to see if I could put my imprint on having a tool out there for somebody to learn from. And like Tony talked about a minute ago, most all of my experience of leading people has come from the car industry. But leading people is leading people. It doesn't matter the industry. And I wrote the book. I intentionally wrote the book in a format to where it's not car driven. Mm-hmm. It talks about where I started in a car dealership, but it's not car driven. It is. If you lead people, whether you've led people for 6 months, 2 weeks, or 30 years, it has some good self-reflections in there to allow you to pull things from it, understand why things happen the way they do, and be able to build on them.
Yeah. Wow, if there's one message that you hope people take away from your book, without giving any spoilers, could you tell us what that is?
I think there's a message to be taken away from each chapter. Each chapter is not a storybook, so it's not elements of the story that comes together. Each chapter is a challenge that we all face at different times. So when I say a few minutes ago, you can self-reflect, you can come back to it. If you're having a challenge with delegation, you can go back to it 6 months after you read it and just read that one chapter. And each chapter is about a 4 to 7 minute read and say, okay, let me try this. And I wanted to specifically write it that way because we all struggle with different things at different times. And you can go and hit those elements so that it's impactful to you at the moment that you need it, when you need it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Ed, where can our viewers get your book?
So it is available on Amazon. You can get the Kindle version, you can get the hardback version or the paperback version on Amazon, or you can go to my website and I will send you a signed copy. And that is mile1leadership.com. So mile1leadership.com, and I will sign it and send it to you if you order it through there. But if you desire to lead people or you're leading people, I'm certain there's some elements that you can pick up from here. But then also, I'd like for you to send me an email and let me know what you picked up from it, because we're in this together and I can learn from you as well as you can learn from me. So we can all win.
Ed, congratulations. It's very exciting. And there's, I understand, I got a text over the weekend, and I've had a couple people, including Tony, tell me they're going to Florida in October. What's the date of the book signing? I see you've got something going on there.
So we figured we'd have fun with a big old giant book signing. We like to celebrate together here, and I won't call it a party. We spend more time with people at work than we do anywhere else, but also it's not just the people at work, it's the people that we support each other with, whether it's industry or whatever. So we're going to have a big old giant book signing event October 20th down here in Florida in the old Lamborghini headquarters. Lamborghini used to be headquartered here in Jacksonville, and that building is now turned into a museum, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a little fun and have a little 4-hour event and see where it goes.
What day of the week is that, Ed?
That is on a Friday evening.
Okay. And what are the hours?
6 to 10.
Okay. All right.
And I believe old Mr. T.O. is going to make a presence known there.
I absolutely am. No question about it. I would not be anywhere else.
Yep. And Sean Kingery actually texted me his flight itinerary, so I know he's going to be there too, Ed.
Yes. All good stuff.
All right.
All good stuff. The and I can't say that it will happen, but if you look really close there, you can see that one of those endorsers is Alan Mullally.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it would be cool. We've talked about it, but we haven't got him committed yet, but it'd be cool to have him there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Alan Mullally, the former CEO of Ford Motor Company and of Boeing, who is credited with turning Ford Motor Company around during the dark days of the Great Recession some years back. And he had the foresight, Ed and Tony, as you know, you're both Ford people, and Sophie, a Ford person as well, right, in your family. Alan Mullally had the foresight to prepare Ford for what was coming. And I remember many times he told the story of how he protected them, and he mortgaged everything, and made sure they could get through it. And they were the only one of the big three who did not go into bankruptcy, and they emerged okay on the other side. And it was thanks to his leadership, Ed. There's that word again, right? Alan Mullally.
What an incredible leader he was,
and still is. He's when I chatted with him a few times, I told him I wouldn't take up too much of his time, but I wanted to know what he was doing. And he says, "Well, I'm on 4 boards right now, and also I'm coaching 200 CEOs." Mm-hmm. So I says, "You have to be busier now than what you was with Ford or Boeing." And he says, "I don't feel like I'm working. It's what I'm meant to do." So very, very, very cool guy to talk to for sure.
Yeah, and Ed also humble like you. So.
Very humble guy, and he's it was a blessing. I spent about 4.5 to 5 hours with him as we was going over different things in the book and talking about different things, and it was a very cool deal and extremely humble.
Well, Bozard Ford Lincoln, of which you're the COO, is not just any dealership. It is one of the most amazing, if not the most, in the country. And if you haven't been there to see it yet, I highly recommend it in St. Augustine, Florida. You got that beautiful Ford's Garage restaurant on the property, Ed, that is busy morning, afternoon, and night. And it's really made it a destination for where you're located there. And you do tremendous volume. You've got the biggest shop, the cleanest shop on the East Coast as well. And you said you're going to expand. Now, I think you had 10 mobile units when I was there a few months ago in May. So you're telling us maybe 20.
I am working with some folks at Ford right now to add, get ready for this, 36 more.
Wow.
Oh, Lordy. Sensational. Sensational.
So we like Ted said, we have a very big shop. We have 96 technicians now, have 98 service bays, have 10 mobile trucks. But reality is our customers do not like coming to car dealers. They don't like coming here for service. They don't like coming here for sales. They do it because it's a necessity. And I want to make ourselves available to our customers where they want to be made accessible to, whether it's sales, service. And right now with the 10 that I have, 3 days a week, they only go see fleet customers.
Mm-hmm.
That only leaves me with 2 days a week to go see our retail customers. And that's not enough. We need to make sure that we can see those guys. And there's other plans that's going to come with that. But you got to have a plan to be able to work it. So we are working it.
Jim Sabino was just here, Ed, and he told me that effective now, Ford Motor Company is requiring dealers to do a certain percentage of their business as mobile, and they've tied incentives to that. I don't know how much of that you can speak to, but if Jim Sabino says that's happening, that's certainly what's going on in the marketplace.
It is. So Ford's put some programs out there to try to get all of their dealers to a 10% out of dealership experience, whether it's a pickup and delivery or mobile, and there has to be a percentage of both sides of that. And to me, anytime the manufacturer comes out with something, they're only coming out with something as a baseline. And 10% to me is a baseline. And we have the target that we want to see 60% of our customers outside of the dealer. And if we do that, we feel like that we can create loyalty even stronger than what we have today. But yes, there's some programs out there to push dealers to do that. And that certainly makes it easier for us, but that's not why we want to do it. We want to be the #1 experience store in the country.
Great. Well, with 90 plus service bays, if you want to do those kind of numbers, I can imagine what that service and parts volume is going to be, Ed Roberts.
Absolutely. We feel like we can double what we do in the next 18 months. We feel like we can double what we do in service already.
No, strong. Congratulations. And Tony, it has not been lost on us that you've been posting a lot about some expansion that's taking place at Germain. I know you sent me a couple pictures. You've been posting them on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Tell us what's going on and if that's open yet or are you about to open?
We opened up Tuesday, full speed, and it's a gigantic shop. It's huge. It's bigger than a football field when you walk in the shop. Gigantic. It's a great place. They spare no expense to get the technicians and the dealership and the customers the best of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Tony, where in Ohio is this again?
Beaver Creek, Ohio. It's a suburb of Dayton. Not close. Well, kind of close. It's around there. Okay. All right.
And that's part of the Germain Motor Company. So would that be Steve Germain, Tony?
Yes, it would be. Yeah, he's got several dealerships around the country. To me, the best dealership group in the business. Nobody takes care of their employees and their customers more than they do.
That's good stuff. It shows in the shop that they built there. The atmosphere that these guys have to work in, that's not necessarily the funnest job out there. And typically we don't give them the best atmosphere either. So I love seeing the atmosphere that you guys created there for them. So that's good stuff.
Well, the best part about this, another great part about this, this is expanding our quick lube operation because they're moving a lot of their business into the older part of the shop, and it's going to go very big. And we'll sell a lot of BT products there, I'm sure.
There you go.
Tony, I was thinking about Ed having the #1 quick lane in the country down there in St. Augustine as well. Tony, we got to get out to Beaver Creek, Ohio and do a pop-up event before the end of the year. So
that would be great. I would love that.
I'll be calling John Melashenko and let's see if we can coordinate that with BG and come back out there and do that before the year is over. That'd be a great thing to do.
It certainly would be.
I know our friends from Quantum 5 would like that as well, right? Because
that would be great. That would be great. The dream team is welcome.
The dream team is welcome. And Ed, I've mentioned it to you. We'd love to come back and see you again as well. Maybe with some kind of a holiday edition. Like, normally we have the online holiday edition the last 2 years with Santa, and I met him in person when I was there a few months ago, and I'd love to do that with him and you.
So Tony, this is what you get when you do a pop up there, sir.
Well, that's a good thing. We need to get that done. Gotta have one of them hats. I got a mile 1 button coming, so I need to get one of them hats too.
Hats are coming next week. A big supply will be here. So
there we go. Hey, that's awesome.
And I see that John Fairchild's been asking for them online, and a lot of people have. So Ed, thank you for that also.
Absolutely. It's good stuff.
All right. Sophie, you got some trivia for us? Because I think the show is coming up, like you said, in just under 2 weeks. What's going on?
Yeah, we got our big Fort Stock event coming up very, very soon. It's going to be tons of fun. So in preparation, I threw together some 1960s trivia for y'all.
All right. Tony and Ed, I have not seen the questions, so here we go.
It's a level playing field. All right, question number 1. In 1963, this popular automotive company was founded by Ferrico and Lamb. A, Ferrari, B, Lamborghini, C, Pagani, or D, Saab. Now, you automotive people should know this one, right?
A.
And people watching in the chat, you can go ahead and put your answers in there. What do you say, Tony?
A.
I'm gonna go with Lamborghini.
Yeah, I'm thinking the name Lamb might have something to do with B, right? So,
Yes.
Give the audience a little bit of time here to catch up. A, Ferrari, B, Lamborghini, C, Pagani, D, Saab. All right. I'm going to go with Lamborghini, I think. And Ed, that's where your book signing is going to be, right?
The old headquarters, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're actually correct, Ted and Ed. It is Lamborghini, and the lamb. You're right. That was a good little hint.
Yes.
Sophie, did you
about the same time? I just missed it. So.
Did you set this up with Ed? To coincide with the book signing there? That seems like you did. I think
We're just on the same level, You
guys both got the pop-up heads going too, right?
Question number 2. Which of these products was first released in 1964? A, the Sharpie, B, nail clippers, C, the envelope, or D, Band-Aid?
Wow, this is a total guess for me. Let's see what we've talked about here today and tying it together. I'm going to go with A, Sharpie.
Yeah, I don't think it's the envelope, Ed, right?
I don't think it's the envelope. I think they was able to get bills out some kind of way to get people.
And Band-Aid, I don't think. And nail clippers would have had been something around Tony, right, for that. So
yeah, I was going to go with Ed. I was going to go with A.
So. Hey, yeah, I'm going to go with A as well.
And you guys are all on the same playing field. It is A.
There we go. We're batting 100 here.
1964. That's a long time ago.
All right, question number 3. In 1962, this company opened its first store. A, Piggly Wiggly, B, Walmart, C, Gold Circle, or D, Kmart?
I am pretty certain I know what this one is, and I could be wrong because I'm not sure of some of the others, but I'm going to go back with B, Walmart, with Sam Walton.
Tony, the first time I was in South Carolina and saw a Piggly Wiggly store, I'm from New York, I thought that was the funniest thing, right? The funniest name. But I don't think it's Piggly Wiggly. So
yeah, they're more south of here than here. But yeah, I'm familiar. I go by movies. I'm a big movie guy, and I knew Bonnie and Clyde movie. They went to Piggly Wiggly, and that was before A. So I'm going to go with Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart or Kmart. Or I'll go Walmart. Okay, I'll go B.
You guys are all correct again. It is Walmart.
That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, we've never had anybody go 100 batting 100 on these, so 1,000, I should say.
All right.
Question number 4. Which of these iconic news anchors used the catchphrase, "And that's the way it is"? A, Walter Cronkite, B, David Brinkley, C, Al Mann, or D, Bill Shadell?
Definitely A.
I know this one, yeah.
So I don't know this one, but Tony is saying it with such confidence.
Yeah. So
I am going to piggyback on with Tony and go with A, Walter Cronkite.
I'd back it up, Ed. I remember as a kid he would say that. So
You're correct again.
There we go. See, like I said, we feed off each other. Tony, thank you.
I wonder if the audience even has a chance to catch up. All right, last one, Sophie.
And question number 5. The very first Super Bowl was played in 1967. Who was the winner? A, the Kansas City Chiefs, B, Chicago Bears, C, the New York Jets, or D, the Green Bay Packers?
So where's Sean Kingery when we need him, right?
Yeah, this one's going to be a guess as well for me, but I'm pretty confident of this guess. And I'm used to getting these on my report cards when I was going to school, so I'm going to go with D, Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard, but I'm going to go with C.
Jets, okay. New York Jets, Joe Namath. I heard that Sean Kingery was in Green Bay today, so I think there's some collusion perhaps with Sophie on this one. So I'm going to go with D also, Ed.
There we go.
All right. Give him a second in the chat. And you guys are correct. It is D, the Green Bay Packers.
All right.
Vince Lombardi.
I think it is so cool that he's got a store in Green Bay. So,
well, I will tell you guys that one of the Lombardi family members, or I guess several of the family members, live right here in my backyard in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I haven't met them. They do come to our store, and I will meet them at some point, though.
And he taught, before I was born, he taught high school in the town over from where I went to school in Kearney, New Jersey. Vince Lombardi was a high school coach. How about that?
Very cool.
He wrote some great books, too.
All right, we're learning a lot. Ed, you said that what's one of the good things about the roundtable, we learned a lot about history. I remember you said that in Orlando.
Yes.
We're doing that tonight as well. So this now leaves us under 2 weeks to the big event. It's coming up. It is in September 18th. Sophie, 4 days there. And
Yep. September 18th through 21st. You can get your complimentary tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com. It's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
You wait till you see the lineup, everybody. It's very, very strong, and you got some headliners on here. And Tony, we look forward to having you there, and Sophie as well, and Ed. And Ed, we got a lot of strong panels that I know you were on, and I believe Sarah and Tully were on.
This is one that you don't want to miss, for sure.
Yeah, so exciting, everybody. All right, so everybody, thank you so much on behalf of Ed and Tony and Sophie, and on behalf of Sean Butler and his family. Thank you for all you do, everybody. And we'll see you next Monday live here on the After Dark Show.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day.
Bye, everybody.